Hey everybody, this is Emilio, the Friendly House Investor. I wanted to shoot a video since our website is based off of wholesaling real estate. I wanted to cover the basics of what is wholesaling. So in this video, we're going to cover an introduction to wholesaling, the reasons why I love wholesaling, some of the downsides of wholesaling, and then a final conclusion of wholesaling. So, introduction to wholesaling. I really didn't come up with a description there. Honestly, if you Google wholesaling real estate, you'll come up with a bunch of different definitions. This comes from one of my favorite websites, biggerpockets.com, and basically says a wholesaler in a nutshell puts property, normally distressed property, under contract and assigns or resells the property to another investor. The investors a wholesaler sells to either uses cash, lines of credit, or hard money loans. This allows quick closings on properties that sometimes need extensive repairs. Wholesalers live off the idea that price overcomes all objections. If you could sell a property for a low enough price, it doesn't really matter what's wrong with it, somebody will buy it. Wholesaler focuses on developing two things: finding deals and their network of investors to sell to. So pretty much what this is saying is that a wholesaler loves to buy ugly homes or buy homes that are in decent condition or maybe in great conditions, just from a desperate, motivated seller. It's not that they want to sell, it's that they need to sell. They have to sell the property. Some of the reasons being is that they are facing foreclosure. Some could be probates. They have taxes piling up, and it was never their house to begin with. And now this piece of property that was once owned by a mother or a grandmother is now a big burden on them. So they just want to sell and get rid of it. They're also, sometimes they're moving. Sometimes it's another investor that started the rehab and simply just ran out of money. And they just don't want to deal with it anymore. It became this awesome project, and in the end really is just become a big financial burden and a headache. So those are some of the reasons why a seller would want to sell a property at such a low price. The other side is selling it to your cash investors. Cash investors include those investors that want to fix and flip or that want to buy and hold, but they're looking for good deals. And again, here in this line, it says they use cash, lines of credit, or hard money loans. They're not applying for a conventional loan. They're not getting FHA loans where it takes weeks, sometimes longer, to get approved for a loan. And in the end, they might not even get approved for the loan. So this is the basic nutshell of wholesaling. There are 5 basic steps, and these are the basic steps. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could dive in more deep and come up with more steps, but this is pretty much the basics of it. As a wholesaler, you find an ugly house, and when I say ugly, it could be, it depends on your level of ugly. Some people love the fire damaged homes. Some people just love homes that have mold. It really depends on the investor. There's an investor out there for every house. And number 2 is you make a low offer to the homeowner or to that person who owns that property, and then they accept the property. Now, when you make an offer, you do that with a purchase agreement, and when the seller accepts, once they sign the purchase agreement, that is their, you now have the property under contract. So you have control of that property. Normally, each purchase agreement standard is 30 days. So you have 30 days to step number 3, market your property. So what you're doing is when you're marketing your property, you're going to investors that are looking for deals. They have cash in hand and they want to rehab a property. They want to buy it low, put some money into it, and sell it at a very high price, or maybe just sell it at a decent price where it'll sell quick and they make their money and then they're out. And number 5 is once you do find a cash buyer, you go to a title company. And I'm in Michigan, and I use a title company. Some people, I think, will do it at a real estate attorney's office. I've never done that before. I just found one title company that I love to work with, and I constantly go there for all my closings. but they handle the coordination of bringing the seller to the table, bring the closing to the table, the buyer to the table, and then they handle all the paperwork. They do all the research. They organize all the purchase agreements and assignments and make sure that everything is done correctly so that everybody gets what they want. Seller gets their money, buyer gets the keys to and clean title to a house so that they can fix it up and sell it, and you get your money. The benefits of wholesaling. This is why I love wholesaling. These are just five. You could come up with a lot more, but number one is very little capital needed. A lot of people think that when you're real estate investing, you have to buy the house, you have to put 20% down, and then you have to go through conventional mortgage, and then they're like, well, I don't have $20,000-$30,000 down to put on a house, so then they figure they can never get involved with real estate investing. With wholesaling, it's very little capital. A lot of times it's just sweat equity. If you go out there and you just network with as many cash investors as you can, get the word out there and try and find deals, you could find deals for free. You could get your cash buyers. You could make a big cash buyers list for free. All it really requires is hustle. That's all it really requires. Number two is no experience necessary. I pretty much learned on the go. I bought some courses, but I also work with other investors in the field of wholesaling, or some are agents and some are fix and flippers, and I learn from them. They know that when I first started, I don't have a lot of experience, but I have a really, really hard work ethic, and I will put that hard work ethic to use. Three, quick money. With fixing and flipping, the money is bigger sometimes, but you do have to go through the process of fixing up the property, and then you have to market it on the MLS, and then you have to sell it, and then it takes maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks for your end buyer to close. I mean, the process could take the process will take months to get a big paycheck. With wholesaling, the checks aren't as big, but they're quick, they're fast. Number four, credit checks. No credit checks needed. You could have terrible credit. You could have no credit. Doesn't really matter. If you have a great deal and you have someone who wants to buy it, you could get paid. And number five, it's an introduction to real estate investing. This wholesaling, I believe, is a great stepping stone. It's probably the first stepping stone that any real estate investor should get into. Some people dive right into rehabbing properties and they drop all this money into real estate investing, and a lot of the times the deal that they got in was never that great of a deal. With wholesaling, since you're not putting a lot of money into the property, let's say you find a deal and you think it's a great deal, and then you try and sell it to a buyer, and everyone's telling you, hey, that's not a great deal. This is why, and they'll tell you why it's not a great deal. It's something that you're going to have to learn with experience, but you know what? You're not putting thousands of dollars down to lock up that property with a purchase agreement. It really doesn't take that much. So over time, you're going to see more and more deals, and you're going to start seeing what a good deal is and what a bad deal is. So it's a great stepping stone. The next slides are the cons of wholesaling. These are the negative things of wholesaling, and the first one is there is no cash flow. For all those Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad followers out there, you know that cash flow is extremely important. That is the way to wealth. And with wholesaling, there's no cash flow. It's pretty much like I said in number two, it's a job. You're going out there and you're working for a paycheck. There are ups and downs. So when I first started, I would get a wholesale deal, and I'd make like $3,000, and it was amazing. I had this check. I've never made $3,000 on one single business transaction like that. It was crazy to think that I made that and how easy it was. But then I needed to put money into marketing. I needed to put money into sending out letters, and then slowly but surely the money started going down a little bit more, and I was like, man, I need a deal. I need to wholesale a deal to replenish my account. And then I would get one and then go up, but then it would keep going down again because of marketing costs. So the fact that there is no cash flow and it is a job sometimes is a con of wholesaling. Number three, it's work intensive, and it kind of correlates with number four. Um, you're in a car and you're driving all the time. You're taking calls. You're putting out bandit signs. It's with cash flow again. You put the property. You let your money work for you. With this, because when I'm starting off with wholesaling, I'm building up my capital. So I got to put that sweat equity in, and the profits that I make from that, I can apply to real estate that will provide me cash flow. But in the beginning, it is work intensive, and with number four, you don't close on all contracts. So you could go to 3 different home sellers. They're all motivated, but they're all asking too much. And you drove down to see them, you drove down to meet them. You're just trying to pretty much learn the systems, and you could go months without landing a contract. You could visit and walk through 5, 10, 20 houses, and sometimes you'll never get a contract. You might get a property under contract, and you might not sell it. That's some of the cons of it, and that's all. That's all part of learning. It's something that I'm doing every day with wholesaling. I'm still making mistakes. I've been doing it for a few years now, and I'm making simple mistakes that I need to start learning from. When you start, that's the way it is. It comes with experience. And the next slide is the conclusion. So my conclusion, wholesaling is perfect for the beginner real estate investor. There's no experience needed, and you can start making money without a lot of capital. No credit checks, just hard work. You get used to seeing more deals. When you do, you will start to understand the difference between good and bad deals. And I think that with wholesaling, I think it's a great way to get into real estate investing. I think it's a great way to make quick money. And if you see here, friendlyhouseinvestor.com, I made this blog because I'm not a master at wholesaling yet. I'm just learning, but I have closed on a handful of deals. I just closed one last week, and I am learning every day, and I'm meeting new wholesalers every day, and they're asking me questions. And the reason why I created this website is because I'm a nice guy. I'm a friendly guy, and I'm people when I talk to new wholesalers, I will literally talk to them for like a half hour. So I'll just be on the phone all day. So I created this website just to be kind of like a resource center for new wholesalers trying to learn. And to be honest, I am still learning myself. So if you have knowledge to give to me, I will gladly accept it. So if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, visit the website, friendlyhouseinvestor.com, and then also visit us on Facebook as well, and like us there. And let's start a conversation, and let's start growing together. Thank you for watching this video. Talk to you soon.